what's also facts is that when this Knicks team added Mikal Bridges and they retained Julius Randle, OG Anunoby, Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, all of these key players, they turned themselves into a championship contender. But apart from that, the fit, the chemistry, it's off the charts now, given the fact that we have two wings that by themselves are the best defensive wings in the league. You put them together, they're the best defensive duo in the entire NBA. That's something to talk about. But I've talked about this for weeks till I've been blue in the face. You know who hasn't talked about this? And I've been waiting for them to talk about it. You know who I'm talking about. Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. Recently, on the Roomates podcast, they were asked about the Mikal Bridges trade. And they were talking about it, talking about how they felt, his fit, how he could operate, how he could help contribute. And this is the first time that I've at least heard publicly them acknowledging the trade, talking about it, and speaking about what it means to them, how it feels. And that's why it's so important to actually listen to and talk about. So let's go ahead and roll that up. Because like I said, it's very important to listen to what Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart have to say about their newest guy on the team, Mikal Bridges. Again, shout out to the Roommates Show podcast. If you're not subscribed to their YouTube show or their podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever you get your podcast from, please make sure you're subscribed to them. They're a great show. I love watching them as well, too. Let's take a look at the following clip that we have here about Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart talking about Mikal Bridges and his fit for this Knicks team. It's amazing to listen to.
He seemingly fits. I think it's great. He's a dude that can go out there, be disruptive on defense.
Yep.
Off ball and on ball. He can spot up. He can create his own shot. He's just a great asset. I mean, that's why the Nets held him for so long. They wanted all those picks because they know what he's capable of.
What?
Yeah, and it's gonna be like you guys got to see it a little bit in terms of the style he played with Phoenix, where it was like catch and shoot, play off the catch, get in the lane, those kind of things. So he was always able to do that, and then obviously he got to Brooklyn, and they were able, he was like their focal point on the offensive end and getting play calls for him and being efficient. So it's like we're going to get a combination of that, where it's like obviously he doesn't have to, have the ball all the time and get all the plays. Someone who can play off Jalen and Jew, and very similar to OG in that that aspect, can get their own shot.
Yep.
But then obviously on the defensive end, he can guard, 1
Everyone.
through 3, 4. So it just gives you another tough, lengthy defender to guard, some of those guys. Guard like, the Jalen Brown and Tatum combo, Maxi PG.
Yep. Right, thinking about it.
Both are, really good.
Maxi PG, you heard that, guys, right? Maxi PG.
Donovan Mitchell-Garland.
Like I said about 2-3 minutes ago, your basketball knowledge is very subpar.
How was that subpar?
It's taking you 30 minutes to just thinking about wing combos, like guard wing combos.
So it took me 10 seconds. I just named 3 elite wing guard or backcourt combos.
Okay, name me another.
In the East, I just named you 3.
I said name me a fourth.
Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges.
Ooh.
You said elite.
We are elite.
That's actually not elite. Mikal was, though.
Oh, man. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Okay. All right. And that, my friends, was Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart acknowledging the fact that we have Mikal Bridges on this team, his fit, what he can do, and why he matters so much. I've said it a number of times, guys. Mikal Bridges means so much to this team for a number of reasons, but they've already acknowledged so much of it. He's disruptive without being disruptive. What do I mean by that? Defensively, he's going to disrupt everything. Offensively, he's going to disrupt nothing. And that's why Mikal Bridges is the perfect fit. You need him to score. You need him to get you that 3 ball. You need to go ahead and get that ball inside the paint, pass the ball, be open for a shot, and knock it down. He's going to do that for you. But if you need him to make sure he plays if you need to make sure he takes and he makes top-notch defensive plays, he is one of your best defenders as well, too. And you put him on anybody that's inside the NBA right now who can play 1 through 4. Josh Hart was being kind. I think he can guard 1 through 5. And if that's the case, and OG can do the same thing too, that means if you have a Robinson in your lineup, you have Robinson who can guard the 5, OG who can guard the 5, and Mikal who can guard the 5. 3 different players in case that player is, I don't know, Miles Turner, who can continue to shoot 3 after 3 after 3 on us. There's a reason the Knicks wanted to have players like this on their roster. People who fit, who can score, and who can switch. And this is the type of things we're going to be talking about. That's why when Mitchell Robinson switches on a guard, which often happens because they try to mismatch the Knicks a lot when they play against them. This time, you have an OG on you. You have a Mikal Bridges on you. It's not that easy to take that defender off of you. And that means the Knicks are going to be a very hard team to beat because you can't just play the mismatches anymore. There's not that many mismatches because Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby kind of solves that. And that's really what Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart were saying there. Not to mention that Josh Hart already claims that Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges are one of the strongest duos in the league today. And how can you argue that? Jalen Brunson, one of the best offensive players in the game right now. We can admit that. We know that. Then Mikal Bridges, one of the best defenders in the game right now. We know that. We can admit that. What happens when you bring those two things together? Magic. And it's not like Jalen can't defend. He leads. He was one of the league leaders, I believe, in charges taken last year. Now, you can say what you want to say about charges, but he puts his body on the line to take contact, but also to take charges and get that type of foul for the other team. So that's what I'm talking about there. Jalen doesn't have to play defense the way that OG Anunoby plays defense, but the way he plays defense still results in the same thing, getting the Knicks another offensive type of play, getting us another offensive look at the basket because we're able to do that now because of Jalen. So I don't want to hear about Jalen Brunson's defense. He still takes charges. Mikal Bridges, he's going to play in the backcourt with Jalen. He's going to be great and fire there. I know with Julius Randle, his defense has been questionable. But let me say this, and maybe you guys agree with this, maybe you guys don't. Let me know in the chat. I believe that if your defense is subpar, if you play around a whole bunch of defenders that play defense to a very high level, and that's all they do, you're going to get influenced by what they do, and it's going to make you better as a defender. So, yeah, sure. Mitchell Robinson, great defender. OG, great defender. Mikal Bridges, great defender. Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, a little subpar, even though Jalen does take charges. But they're going to be better defenders because of circumstance, just because of the situation. If I take one of you guys and I plop you into a village, after a week, you're gonna start to adapt and understand what you should and shouldn't do. And at some point in time, you're going to be part of it. That's exactly what the Knicks are doing here. When they added the pieces to this roster, when they added Mikal Bridges, when they added the other players here, they knew if they built the right roster with the right players that did the right things, those habits would fall off to their rookies. That's what's going to happen. And fall off to the players that don't do it all the time, like a Jalen Brunson, like a Julius Randle. That doesn't get talked about enough. When you play with high-level defenders, you yourself will start to become a better defender just because you're part of that situation. Let's remember that. And Julius Randle, with the rebounding that he's been doing, with the fact that not only on the glass, he has also been finding people when he's been drawing 2 or 3 defenders down low, and the next person he's going to find in the wing is Mikal Bridges. I wonder how that's going to go. Randle, he's going down the paint. Oh, he draws 2 defender. He goes for the shot. He passes to the wing. Mikal Bridges is open. 3, bang! Oh, that's how it's going to go. If you enjoyed these clips from the live show, be sure to subscribe to the channel and have notifications turned on so you don't miss any new episodes or when we go live. Thanks for watching, Knicks fans, and until next time, peace.